Imagine a world where the ocean stretches endlessly, and in its depths lives a creature so huge that it seems to be the product of the wildest myths and legends. A creature whose every breath shakes the thickness of the water, and the shadow of its body covers entire ships. This is not fiction, not a fantasy of ancient sailors. This is reality, embodied in the largest animal that has ever lived on our planet, the blue whale. Its story is a saga of survival, the grandeur of nature and the fragility of life, once balancing on the brink of extinction. Dive with us into this underwater world, where not just an animal lives, but a living giant, whose existence still evokes awe and admiration. How is it possible that one living creature can be larger than a dinosaur, and its voice can cover thousands of kilometers of underwater space? The answers lie in the unique evolution, incredible anatomy, and complex behavior patterns that make the blue whale a true miracle of nature. The blue whale, or fin whale, belongs to the order Cetacea, suborder baleen whales. It is not just a mammal, it is the pinnacle of evolutionary development among the giants of the ocean. Its body is streamlined, like a torpedo, perfectly adapted for sliding through the water. The skin is blue-gray, sometimes with lighter spots on the belly, which give it the name blue. But you only understand the true scale when you are next to it. The length of an adult blue whale can reach 30 to 33 meters, which is comparable to the length of 3 city buses lined up side by side. And the weight? Up to 190 tons. Imagine 30 elephants gathered together, that's how much one blue whale weighs. Its heart is the size of a small car and weighs around 600 kilograms, and its aorta is so wide that a baby could swim through it. The tongue of a blue whale alone weighs as much as an adult elephant. These are truly astounding figures that are difficult to fully comprehend. But how can such a giant exist and survive in the harsh conditions of the world's oceans? Its diet seems to belie its size. The blue whale feeds on tiny crustaceans known as krill. It can ingest up to 4 tons of krill every day, filtering it from the water using thousands of horny plates called baleen, which are located in place of teeth. This process, called filter feeding, is an amazing adaptation that allows the blue whale to obtain enough energy to support its colossal body. It finds a clump of krill, opens its enormous mouth, which can hold up to 90 tons of water and krill, and then closes its mouth, pushing the water out through the baleen, trapping the food. The behavior of blue whales is also a subject of research and fascination. They are solitary, although small groups of 2 to 4 individuals can sometimes be found, especially in food-rich areas. Their migrations cover thousands of kilometers, traveling from cold polar waters, where food is plentiful, to warm tropical waters to breed and give birth to calves. These migrations require enormous energy expenditure and precise knowledge of ocean currents. Blue whales communicate using infrasound, low-frequency sounds that are inaudible to the human ear. These sounds can travel thousands of kilometers underwater, allowing whales to communicate over vast distances. It is believed that these sounds are used to find mates, navigate, and coordinate behavior. Their songs are something amazing. They are long, complex, and structured, and can last for up to several minutes. Researchers still do not fully understand all the functions of these songs, but one thing is clear: it is a complex form of communication that plays a vital role in their lives. Studying these sounds allows us to better understand their world and the threats they face. But what brought this magnificent creature to the brink of extinction, and what efforts are being made to save it? What if we told you that the largest animal on the planet, a symbol of nature's power and majesty, was almost completely wiped out by humans? The story of the blue whale is not only a tale of its incredible size and unique adaptations, but also a tragic tale of ruthless hunting that brought this species to the brink of extinction in the 20th century. It is a lesson for all of humanity about how quickly something that nature has spent millions of years creating can be destroyed. How did such a powerful creature become so vulnerable? The answer lies in a combination of commercial gain and a lack of understanding of the fragility of marine ecosystems. The early 20th century was a period of rapid development of the whaling industry. New technologies such as steam whaling ships and harpoon guns made whale hunting much more efficient. Blue whales, due to their enormous size, were especially valuable. Their blubber, blood oil, was used to produce butter, margarine, candles, and even nitroglycerine. The meat was used as food, and the bones were used to make fertilizer. No one could imagine that even such an abundance of nature could dry up. By the 1930s, tens of thousands of blue whales were killed each year. In the 1930 to 1931 season alone, more than 29,000 blue whales were killed. These were staggering numbers that could not help but affect the population. Before intensive hunting began in the early 20th century, the number of blue whales was estimated to be between 200,000 and 300,000 individuals. By the middle of the century, their number had dwindled to a few thousand, and according to some sources, to a few hundred. The population collapsed so rapidly that the species was in danger of extinction. The international community realized the scale of the catastrophe too late. It was not until 1966 that the International Whaling Commission, IWC, imposed a complete ban on commercial whaling of blue whales. This decision, although belated, became a lifeline for the remaining individuals. However, the damage had already been done, and the recovery of the population is an extremely slow process. Blue whales reproduce slowly. Females give birth to one calf every 2 to 3 years, and the pregnancy lasts about 11 to 12 months. At birth, the calf already reaches 7 meters in length and weighs up to 3 tons, and then grows quickly, gaining up to 90 kilograms per day, feeding on mother's milk. Despite the ban on hunting, blue whales still face a number of threats. One of the main ones is a collision with large ships. Due to the enormous size of the whales and the speed of the ships, such collisions often lead to death for the animals. Another serious threat is noise pollution of the ocean. Sound from ship engines, seismic surveys, for example, to search for oil and gas, and military sonars can disrupt whales' communication, navigation, and behavior, and in some cases even cause hearing damage. Climate change is also a threat. Warming ocean waters and changing water chemistry can affect the distribution and abundance of krill, blue whales' main food source. This can force whales to find new feeding grounds, which in turn increases the risk of ship strikes or leads to malnutrition. And of course, there's plastic pollution. Although blue whales are filter feeders and are less likely to ingest large pieces of plastic, the microplastics they ingest along with krill can accumulate in their bodies and have unknown effects on their health. All of these factors create a complex picture of threats that requires ongoing monitoring and international efforts to conserve this unique species. But is there any hope for a full recovery of the population, and what can we do about it? Imagine that after decades of oblivion, the shadows of the past, seemingly forever lost from the depths of the ocean, are slowly but surely beginning to return. The story of the blue whale is not only a reminder of our mistakes, but also an inspiring example of how joint efforts and a conscious attitude towards nature can lead to a revival. Today, thanks to decades of protection, the number of blue whales is slowly but surely increasing. This gives hope that one day the ocean will once again be filled with the majestic songs of these giants. But is this enough, and what new challenges await them in an ever-changing world? Since the ban on whaling, blue whale populations have slowly begun to recover. Some areas, such as the waters around Antarctica, where they once had their greatest numbers, and off the coast of California, have seen a steady increase in numbers. The latest estimates put the global blue whale population at between 10,000 and 25,000 individuals. This is significantly higher than the few hundred individuals in the mid-20th century, but still far from pre-whaling levels. To ensure continued recovery, extensive research and conservation efforts are underway. Scientists track whales with satellite tags, study their acoustic activity to understand migration routes and feeding areas, and analyze genetic data to assess the health of populations. This allows them to better understand their needs and develop effective conservation strategies. For example, in some areas, vessel speed limits are imposed in areas where whales congregate to reduce the risk of collisions. Marine protected areas are being created where whales can safely reproduce and feed without interference from human activity. NGOs and governments around the world are actively working to reduce ocean noise pollution and reduce plastic waste that harms marine fauna. Despite the positive changes, the future of blue whales is still not bright. Climate change remains a serious threat. Rising ocean temperatures and water acidification can significantly reduce the number of krill, their main food source. If krill cannot adapt to changing conditions, this will directly affect the survival of blue whales. In addition, New threats may arise as humans explore new areas of the ocean. The development of deep-sea mining, increased maritime shipping, and new types of pollution may pose new challenges for these giants. Therefore, it is very important to continue international cooperation, conduct scientific research, and raise public awareness of the need to protect marine ecosystems. Each of us can make a contribution by reducing plastic consumption, supporting environmentally responsible companies, and participating in environmental protection programs. The story of the blue whale is not only a tragic chapter in human history, but also a powerful reminder of our capacity for change and regeneration. It is a symbol of how nature can recover if we give it the chance. Imagine standing on the shore of the ocean and suddenly hearing a powerful, deep sound piercing the thickness of the water and the air. It is not the roar of a storm, not the rumble of distant thunder. It is the song of the blue whale, an echo of millions of years of evolution, a call from the deepest depths. This song is not just a set of sounds, it is a message that testifies to life, to struggle, and to hope. As long as blue whales sing their songs, as their majestic shadows glide across the ocean floor, we have a chance to save this incredible world. What else must happen for humanity to realize that the future of these giants is inextricably linked with our own? The answer is obvious: we must act before it is too late.